जय श्री माताजी। सभी साधकों का आज के ध्यान सत्र में हम स्वागत करते हैं। वी वेलकम ऑल सहयोगी ब्रदर्स एंड सिस्टर्स फॉर दिस इवनिंग्स कलेक्टिव मेडिटेशन। कलेक्टिव बंधन, उसके पश्चात 3 महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र।
नमो नमः। गणेश साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
आज वसंत पंचमी है। हम कहते हैं, हम गाते हैं, तू स्वर की देवी ये संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा है हर गीत तुझसे। तो श्री माता जी का जो सरस्वती स्वरूप है, जो शारदा स्वरूप है, उस स्वरूप का पूजन करने का आज दिन है। इसी भावना के साथ हम आज का ध्यान करेंगे। आइए श्री माता जी के चरणों में भजन प्रस्तुत होने जा रहे हैं। सभी लोग ध्यान में बैठते हैं। टुडे इज अ वेरी ऑस्पिशियस डे, is referred to as Vasant Panchami, where we worship Shri Mataji's form of Shri Saraswati, Shri Sharada, which is the genesis of all music. So let us meditate with this thought in our mind, in our heart, as we offer bhajans at the lotus feet of Shri Mataji.
निर्मल विद्या ज्योति जला दो,
सुप्त हृदय में प्राण दे,
ज्ञान दे, ज्ञान दे माँ निर्मल, ज्ञान दे, ज्ञान दे माँ निर्मल।
बहुत से स्वप्न मन में
है बहुत से स्वप्न मन में,
सर्वजन कल्याण दे,
है बहुत से स्वप्न मन में, सर्वजन कल्याण दे।
हम हैं तेरी संतान माते, सहज जग निर्माण दे, विश्व निर्मल धर्म फैले,
विश्व निर्मल धर्म फैले,
यही हमें वरदान दे,
ज्ञान दे, ज्ञान दे माँ निर्मल, ज्ञान दे, ज्ञान दे माँ निर्मल।
आदि मातु आदि भवानी, तू प्रतिपालक जन कल्याणी,
आदि मातु आदि भवानी, तू प्रतिपालक जन कल्याणी,
ब्रह्मा विष्णु शिव शंकर में,
ब्रह्मा विष्णु शिव शंकर में,
तेरा ही है तेज समाया,
तेरा ही है तेज समाया,
हृदय समर्पित श्री चरण में,
हृदय समर्पित श्री चरण में,
पूर्ण कृपा कर हे वरदानी,
पूर्ण कृपा कर हे वरदानी,
चेत सदा रहे तव चरणन में,
चित सदा रहे तव चरणन में,
यही हमें वरदान दे,
ज्ञान दे, ज्ञान दे माँ निर्मल, ज्ञान दे, ज्ञान दे माँ निर्मल।
भक्ति सुमन महके हृदय में,
भक्ति सुमन महके हृदय में,
ज्ञान दे माँ निर्मला निर्मल,
ज्ञान दे, ज्ञान दे माँ निर्मल, ज्ञान दे, ज्ञान दे
माँ निर्मल, ज्ञान दे, ज्ञान ज्ञान दे, ज्ञान ज्ञान दे, ज्ञान दे माँ
सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे सगुण निर्गुण एक निर्मल रे सगुण निर्गुण एक निर्मल रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे अनुमानेना 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 श्रुती नेती नेती म्हणती निर्मल रे नेती नेती श्रुती नेती नेती श्रुती नेती नेती म्हणती निर्मल रे निर्मल रे म्हणती निर्मल रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे स्थूल म्हणो की सूक्ष्म रे तुझ स्थूल म्हणो की सूक्ष्म रे तुझ स्थूल म्हणो की स्थूल म्हणो की सूक्ष्म रे स्थूल सूक्ष्म एक निर्मल रे स्थूल सूक्ष्म एक निर्मल रे एक निर्मल रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ दृश्य म्हणो की अदृश्य रे तुझ दृश्य म्हणो की अदृश्य रे दृश्य म्हणो की अदृश्य रे तुझ दृश्य म्हणो की दृश्य म्हणो तुझ दृश्य म्हणो की अदृश्य रे दृश्य अदृश्य एक निर्मल रे दृश्य अदृश्य एक निर्मल रे निर्मल रे म्हणती निर्मल रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे सगुण निर्गुण एक निर्मल रे सगुण निर्गुण एक निर्मल रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की सगुण म्हणो की सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे.
ज्ञानदायिनी हंसवाहिनी वंदहु तो हे वीणावादिनी. ज्ञानदायिनी हंसवाहिनी वंदहु तो हे वीणावादिनी. मातु शारदे तम विनाश कर मातु शारदे तम विनाश कर जगमग जग कर दे. ज्ञानदायिनी हंसवाहिनी वंदहु तो हे वीणावादिनी. गम गम मग सानि सा गम दद मदद मदद मग सा गम धनि नि धनि नि धनि नि ध गम धनि ध मग मग सा. दैन्यशिला को शीघ्र भेद कर दैन्यशिला को शीघ्र भेद कर नवरत्न जनित कर दे. मानवता की ज्योति से मानवता की दिव्य ज्योति से जनमानस को भर दे. मातु शारदे तम विनाश कर जगमग जग कर दे. ज्ञानदायिनी हंसवाहिनी वंदहु तो हे वीणावादिनी. मम गम गम मग सानि सा गम धन मदद मदद मग सा गम धनि नि धनि नि धनि नि धम गम धनि धम गम ग सा. नव प्रभात में नवल कंठ से नव प्रभात में नवल कंठ से नवल रागिणी भर दे. काव्य जगत की नवल अवनी से काव्य जगत की नवल अवनी में भावशस्य तू भर दे. मातु शारदे तम विनाश कर जगमग जग कर दे. ज्ञानदायिनी हंसवाहिनी वंदहु तो हे वीणावादिनी. मातु शारदे तम विनाश कर जगमग जग कर दे. ज्ञानदायिनी वंदहु तो हे वीणावादिनी, वंदहु तो हे वीणावादिनी, वंदहु तो हे वीणावादिनी।
जय श्री माता जी। जो लोग पहली बार आज प्रतिष्ठान पधारे हैं, जिन्होंने हाल ही में अपना आत्म साक्षात्कार लिया है, उनसे विनती है कि इस हॉल के राइट हैंड साइड में जो खुली जगह है वहाँ पधारे। वहाँ हमारे सहयोगी भाई बहन आपको ध्यान के सेशंस के लिए गाइड करेंगे। धन्यवाद। इसी ध्यान की अवस्था में हम परम पूज्य श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी को ग्रहण करेंगे। We will now listen to Shri Mataji's speech in this meditative state. Thank you.
Religions also, then this thing that every religion says the same thing. Then it comes to the Agya point. When it comes to the Agya point only, there then suddenly they realize that there is something wrong, that people are mentally only accepting this religion, and there must be something beyond this. At that point, if somebody gets the realization, he just sticks to it. But this Mahasaraswati principle has to be awakened in all the people who are musicians, who are artists, who are this and that and that. And those who have reached that state, then suddenly they can get realization very easily. I have seen some people, very great artists they are today, but when they came to me first were not at all well known or anything. But when they came to me while singing only, they got their realization. Just singing. Or there was one gentleman who was just playing tabla before me. I was not so good. All right. And then I was in Pune where I saw him. And in Pune he was playing very well. And I said, he's the same fellow. But somebody said, no, mother, he's not the same. He was not such a great player. I said, all right. I had taken some flowers for these musicians, so I sent it. He came running and touched my feet. Mother, have you not recognized me or what? I said, I have. That's why I brought you the flowers. I didn't know what to say. But the way he had improved now, he is a world-famous tabla player. World-famous. It has happened with many others also, with the Sarot people, with the star people. So many people have achieved a lot. Musicians, they, after coming to me, they have asked me that please do something that we should be able to enhance our creativity. I just take to search, that's all. And when they were awakened, very surprisingly, today most of them are very well-known musicians and very famous in India. Of course, the Western musicians, I don't know where to lay my hands because I don't know till the way they are screaming these days. I think their throats will be out, maybe something, then they might come to me. But on the whole, my own idea is this. That those who have reached Mahasaraswati level through reading or through creativity, but through writings or anything, when they reach a certain state of Agya, then either they get disappointed, go to the left, and absolutely think that this is all useless. Or else, if they get realization, they become really very dynamic artists, very dynamic writers, and people who are creating something of an eternal value. So many Sahajogis who have never spoken on the stage, who have never been on the stage, they said we had a fright for the stage. They all, surprisingly, now have become great orators and speak very well and know so much. So, this is the Mahasaraswati principle. Now, this makes you a person much subtler, and you start becoming aware that the gross understanding we had about our art or our creativity has to be subtler. We have to be subtler people. And then such writers only appeal to people who are subtle. Like William Blake was regarded as a mad poet. I mean, in India I never read about him. I did read on my own, but in the colleges, university, they never had William Blake, or in any book as such there was no William Blake. But when you go to these people and talk to them, there was one called Munro fellow. He has translated Gita into English. He's a very wonderful person. He is actually, I think, he's Italian. He lives now. He's no more. He lived in near Cambridge. I went to see him. He was very anxious to meet me. And when I went there, you'll be amazed. He did my arti, and he said a mantra in Sanskrit that, "Oh God, you have come to my house. What have I done in my previous lives that you are in my house?" Such a beautiful poet, you see. And he said in Sanskrit language. He was a master of Sanskrit. So I asked him, from which book you have taken this couplet? He said, I have composed it myself. So beautiful it was. And then he said certain things from Gita and all that. And he said, Mother, I don't know, you might be, he was very old that time, he was 8 years of age. He said, Mother, maybe you might be able to change this English, but I don't think I have done anything. Even when I translated Gita, they are just reading Gita, that's all. So what's the use of my translation? Just like Bible now, they are reading word by word Gita, so finished. What's the use of doing this work? And he was so disappointed with the whole thing. So he said, what will you work out? How will you work out? I said, all right, I'll try. He said, of course, you are there, you are an incarnation. He just recognized me. I know you'll work it out. He wrote a very nice letter to me also. And then he died. But such a nice man, and he suffered a lot. Nobody tried to understand him. He said, I talked to so many scientists and things, and they are absolutely useless and very superficial. So I don't think in this country of England you'll be able to do much. It was a very superficial country. There were at least 20 English Sahajogis with me, and they were listening to it. He said they're extremely superficial, this language is superficial, they don't know about anything about spirit or anything about kundalini. But he was a very well-read man, very, very deep person. And he told me that while he was studying, gradually he felt this Mahasaraswati principle. The way he didn't say Mahasaraswati, but he felt that there must be subtler knowledge. So he took to books like Gita, this, that, and then suddenly he felt that it's all reading again. It's just the same, like translation. Especially when he translated Gita, he was amazed that people were just reading it like Bible. Then he said that, Mother, I don't know how, but one day I was praying to Mother Mary and to the Holy Ghost, and I got my realization. So he was a realized soul. And he saw me in dream, you see. He said, in dream you came and gave me realization. It's surprising. He saw me in dream and he got it. There's another few people who have got it, but especially him, I was so surprised. So when I arrived in his house, he recognized me immediately. He said, I saw you in my dream. You came and you gave me realization. You awakened my kundalini and you gave me realization. So you can imagine that this gentleman was so beautifully placed, so subtle he was, that at the Agya point, he just got the dream and he got realization. And he said, all the knowledge is now revealed to me so much more. And then he sat down with me. He said, can you stay for some time? I said, I'm now going away. But at least for 5 hours he was talking to me. He was not tired. He would not leave me. Such an old man was sitting at my feet. I was telling him, you sit on the chair. No, I'm very good. I'm very much all right. You're sitting there. So this is what happens with this Mahasaraswati principle developing within us. But we should allow that to grow within us. So in Sahaja Yoga we are not told that we are not to read any book. Not at all. We have to read. But in that book we have to see the subtle points and see for yourself. I don't read any scriptures because I don't need to read. But when I started reading see these intellectuals, what they have to say, I was amazed that they are saying the same thing. There's nothing new. What I know, what I say, that's what they are saying. There's nothing new about it. There's nothing special about it. Just what all the scriptures have said, they have said the same thing, and these people are saying the same thing. But by saying this thing, how are they going to propagate? Nothing. It will be just again something that will happen outside, and it will drop out. It doesn't become part and part of yourself. So it has to become innate. That's only possible if your spirit comes into your attention. There's no other way out. So luckily you all are realized souls, and your Mahasaraswati is very much there. But I would say you must read. Read books of value and understand how it is absolute Sahaja there, how it is there. Anything you take up, you will be surprised that all these books are talking about Sahaja. May not be all of it, but part of the Sahaja is there. All of them talk of some part of Sahaja, but not the whole of it, because they came at different times. And now the Sahaja is the time when you have to know the complete integrated knowledge of this religious thought that was there, complete integrated. And that's how you understand that all religions are integrated. So one should, in Sahaja, after you come, people don't take to any reading, is the wrong thing. They should read and understand what others have said, where have they gone wrong, but not these nonsensical people. You shouldn't read these nonsensical people, which you know are nonsensical. But so many, the other day I got this book of the Christian Science. It's all Bible, nothing special about it. They are saying you should not do this, you should not do this and all that. It's all written in the Bible. What new things are you telling? Nothing. You don't need a science for that, it's just there. But they are making money out of it by explaining, and there's no explanation needed. Because that has to come within yourself, is the point, which is not there. So now this Mahasaraswati principle is awakened within us, and we have to read and see the subtle side of this growth of thought, how it grew up and how it became subtler and subtler, and how so many people in the world have contributed to it. So many artists, so many musicians, and so many, we can say, writers who have really contributed to the central path of Sushumna. Because they became realized souls. They were realized souls. Some were born and some became, and then they completely wrote about the yoga. For example, Rabindranath Tagore, in the beginning he writes, when will I meet you, my friend, and all that. What you call the separation song, we call it yoga. And then after some time, suddenly he gets his realization, because he becomes subtler and subtler and subtler. Then he writes about his meeting the spirit, and he writes about it. So these things work out in such a manner for some people that by their subtleties they arrive at a point of realization. Same thing happened with Buddha. He did the same thing. He renounced everything, he renounced his family, went out, read Upanishads, this, that, everything he read, and ultimately reached Gaya, where he was sleeping under a banyan tree. And while sleeping only, he was so tired and fed up, he got his realization. And that's what is very important. But for the Buddhist, what he did before going there is important. So they want to also renounce this and become sannyasis, this, that. But by becoming that, nothing is going to happen. It's going to Gaya, and sleeping there also won't happen. It has to happen because he was a pure seeker, true seeker, and that's why it happened. But for Sahajogis, they don't have to do anything of the kind. They just get it realization. Because I think most of them in their last lives have crossed most of their problems and have known that it's nothing, it's all nonsense in all these things. Or maybe in this life also they must have realized it's all nonsense. And then they must have come to Sahaja. So it's a very great luck for you that you are here and you've got your realization and that you are enjoying yours. May God bless you. Another side which I have left over is the political side on the right side. You see, even in politics, the growth becomes subtler and subtler. Like in, say, we can say in Russia, when it was such a power-oriented thing, it's not money-oriented. The communism was so power-oriented, it reached a place that a person like Gorbachev was to be born. Who would put it in a proper sense? And he came on a central path. He didn't want complete democracy as it is in America, it's a democracy. But he wanted a balanced thing. So far he has not been able to manage, but I'm sure one day he will be managed. But he will be known all over the world for his great thought and great work of reducing the pressure between the two great, or say, between the two ideologies. And he's done such a good thing that now there's no war, going to be no war, as not a very big world war, but could be a little bit here and there. That also is coming up, which is a problem of fundamentalism. Is not due to political but fundamentalism. So now the problem today is fundamentalism, and that also comes from the right side, absolutely. Fundamentalists are all right-sided people, and this right-sidedness takes them to any extreme of violence, could be, or in some cases it's really crazy and madness. But a new disease has started now, those who go too much to the right. It's called as a Yuppie's disease, where the whole conscious mind goes out of order and you become like a reptile. I've seen people being carried like big fishes on the shoulders and put in a seat, and they just know everything by brain, it's all right. But they understand everything, they can talk well, but they cannot move their hands, cannot move their feet if they want to. Unconsciously they may, but consciously they cannot. And this disease is the one which is a warning to everyone. So we have to be careful. In Sahaja Yoga also we should not go too much to the right. It's also very dangerous to go. Some people become very fanatic and start teaching Sahaja Yoga in a very fanatical manner. And sort of, you see, like I don't know what to call that, but sometimes I see some people speaking in a manner that one should never speak that way. Because we are Sahaja Yogis. The main theme is love, compassion, which is a living force, and must be done everything with that force, which is a beautiful living force, which creates these flowers, which does all kinds of beautiful constructive things. It should not be in any way a oppression, domination, or in any kind of command, you should not do like this, an organization, nothing of the kind. It is something so spontaneous, so beautiful, just works out. But as these trees have to be embedded in the Mother Earth, in the same way you should be embedded in the principle of Sahaja Yoga, which is compassion, love, and divine grace. If it is not there, then you will have problems with leadership, you will have problems with... Anybody who is a violent person cannot stay in Sahaja Yoga. He has to disappear. Either he should change himself entirely or he has to disappear. It doesn't work out with people who are violent. So one has to understand that you may be in any position, you may be anywhere, you may be a very poor person, you may be very rich, it makes no difference for a Sahaja Yogi. The best thing to judge yourself is that whenever we are doing anything for anyone or saying anything, is it benevolent or is it violent? Is it for our self propagation or self holier than thou sort of a principle, or it is for the goodness of others. Once you start judging like that, you'll be amazed that your whole system will change. Your way of talking, your way of working it out. For example, today, you see, there was a lady who wouldn't allow me to talk at all. She was talking all the time about something which was not important. But still I was working it out because I knew that there's no need to talk now. With this gentleman I can work it out. So it is always so that you should try to see the whole thing as a complete play and take a very तटस्थ को हिंदी में क्या शब्द होगा मराठी इंग्लिश में a witness state. In a witness state you should watch. If you watch everything in a witness state, then you can handle the whole situation very nicely. Even if you do not talk, if you do not say anything, still in a witness state you become very powerful, and in that witness state you can easily solve lots of problems. May God bless you.
श्री आदिशक्ति मंत्र। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। अब हम आरती की तैयारी करते हैं। लेट अस प्रिपेयर फॉर द आरती। लेट अस स्टैंड अप फॉर द आरती।
जो भी शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको, माँ सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, लौट के ना जाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माताजी, जय निर्मल माताजी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर के कर दिया उजियारा, माँ कर दिया उजियारा। कलियुग में माया है, कलियुग में माया है, फिर भी पहचाना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माताजी, जय निर्मल माताजी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर, दुख से दूर करना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माताजी, जय निर्मल माताजी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधु संगीत सुन लो, माँ मधु संगीत सुन लो। हो सके जो सेवा, हो सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा लेना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माताजी, जय निर्मल माताजी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री कल की साक्षात श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। बोलो श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
परम पूज्य श्री माताजी, हम सभी आपके शतशः ऋणी हैं कि आपकी असीम कृपा की वजह से हम सब में श्री महासरस्वती तत्व प्रस्थापित हुआ, जागृत हुआ और आपके श्री महासरस्वती, श्री सरस्वती, श्री शारदा, इन स्वरूपों के आशीर्वाद हमें मिले, हमें प्राप्त हुए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपके पावन चरणों में यही विनम्र प्रार्थना है कि हम सदैव आपके पावन चरणों में समर्पित रहे। जो भी निर्मल विद्या, निर्मल ज्ञान, संगीत का ज्ञान, स्वरों का ज्ञान आपसे बह रहा है, वो आत्मसात करने की, ग्रहण करने की क्षमता, शक्ति हम में आए और हमसे उसी तरह का संगीत प्रस्तुत हो आपके पावन चरणों में, जिससे आपको आनंद एवं प्रसन्नता मिले। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपके श्री शारदा, श्री सरस्वती, श्री महासरस्वती स्वरूप को हमारे कोटि कोटि प्रणाम। Your Holiness, Shri Mataji, we are eternally grateful and thankful to you for having awakened within us the principle of Shri Mahasaraswati. It is because of your grace and blessings that we enjoy the awakening of Shri Saraswati and Shri Sharada principles within us. Your Holiness Shri Mataji, we pray at your lotus feet to give us the capacity to absorb and imbibe the pure knowledge, the knowledge of music that is emanating from your lotus feet, because you are the source of all music, you are the source of all knowledge. Your Holiness Shri Mataji, kindly grant us the state such that whenever we play any music at your lotus feet, it comes out in a way that makes you happy. Jai Shri Mataji. Collective Bandhan. जय श्री माता जी। सारे विश्व में शांति प्रस्थापित हो, इसलिए श्री माता जी के चरणों में हम प्रार्थना अर्पित करेंगे। सभी लोग अपने बाएं हाथ को बंधन देंगे, जैसे हम हमेशा देते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, रशिया और यूक्रेन में जो तनाव की स्थिति है, आपकी परम कृपा से वो सामान्य हो जाए और वहाँ के लोगों को आनंद मिले और शांति प्रस्थापित हो, ऐसा माहौल कृपा कर वहाँ बनाए। जय श्री माता जी। आज के अनाउंसमेंट्स इस प्रकार हैं। हर रविवार को सुबह 10 बजे छिंदवाड़ा जन्मस्थली यूट्यूब चैनल पर लाइव ध्यान कार्यक्रम का प्रसारण किया जाता है। आप इसका लाभ ले सकते हैं। कल के कार्यक्रम इस प्रकार: प्रातःकालीन ध्यान 4 बजे, सुबह का ध्यान 5:30 बजे, शाम का ध्यान 6:30 बजे। यह सब लाइव प्रसारित होगा। आज का ध्यान केंद्र यहीं पर संपन्न होता है। जुड़े रहने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आइए सहज संगीत की प्रस्तुति करते हैं। जय श्री माता जी। जय श्री माता जी। जैसा कि हमने आज का ध्यान सत्र शुरू होने से पहले निवेदन किया था, आज वसंत पंचमी है, तो परम पूज्य श्री माता जी के चरणों में हमने जो भी म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स है जो हम आमतौर पर बजाते हैं, वो परम पूज्य श्री माता जी के चरणों में सादर अर्पित है। आप अपने स्क्रीन पर देख सकते हैं। पुनः एक बार परम पूज्य श्री माता जी के चरणों में अनेक प्रणाम। जय श्री माता जी।